Welcome back to our YouTube channel. In this video, I want to talk about an issue I see in a lot of companies that have their pricing pages online, and especially for companies that are doing generative AI products. Now, what is this issue? In order to explain this, let me explain what are the different components of a pricing model. A pricing model has three components: your packages, the metric by which you're going to charge. Are you going to charge on a per seat basis, per gigabyte basis, per voice minute, per video minute generated, what have you, and the price point itself. Okay, so these are the three main decisions you have to make in coming up with any pricing strategy for any type of product whatsoever, especially in software. Now, what tends to happen with a lot of generative AI companies, as well as companies putting their pricing pages online, they mix two things together. They mix the packaging with the pricing metric and the tariff structure. And when they do this, both of these things tend to get confused. So in order to explain this situation, let me take the case of a very popular generative AI product called Synthesia. So I am now on Synthesia's homepage. Basically, Synthesia allows for you to have these AI actors and convert text into video in minutes. Sounds like a really cool technology. Perhaps even we will use it sometimes for our YouTube channel. But besides the point, let us go to their pricing page. All right. Now, Synthesia has a few plans: basic, starter, creator, enterprise. And there are things that there is ways that you can compare these plans. So the basic plan gets you one seat, one editor, 36 minutes of video per year. So it's just a trial product. It's free. All right. Then you have starter, where you can have one editor, 3 guests, up to 2 hours of video per year. Then this one is 2 into 3, 6 hours of video in the creative. And then enterprise plan has much more. There are other feature capabilities like commenting, workspaces, live collaboration that is available more in enterprise. You get many more AI avatars in creator and enterprise. You get more personal avatars in creator and enterprise as well. You get the same amount of languages. You get the option for AI dubbing, and some more advanced features are available in the creator and enterprise plans. And starter really is the only paid plan. Now, here is the issue that tends to happen in most of these AI products. Between the enterprise and the creator and starter, there really isn't enough feature differentiation when it comes to a generative AI product. The real key difference is this: how many videos do I get to produce? If I have access to 180 plus AI avatars, how many am I really going to use in my channel? Am I going to use these many? I don't know. Am I going to use so many personal avatars? I don't know. And you're anyway charging me for the studio add-on. So really, in many of these pricing pages, the key difference is how much I can generate. Now, I'll link to my 5-step framework for pricing in the description, but how much I can generate is more of a tariff structure question, right? It's more of a pricing metric question. And the way you want to do it is you want to have your pricing page have different plans based on needs of customers. And then for every plan, you should have your own volume-based tiering flow. So this 2 hours, 6 hours and beyond, that should really ideally be a rate card for every plan, such that you start at a particular price point, and as the user starts to buy more and more minutes, that gets discounting for that plan. But see what is happening here. They are selling 2 hours for $18, and they are selling 6 hours for $64. All right. But what if I just multiplied, this is just, it should ideally be 18 into 3, right? So really they're charging $64 per month, where based on the price of the starter plan, it should only be $54 per month. And now if you ask Synthesia, they will say, hey, but we're giving you many more things on this creator plan. And I'm like, yes, I agree with you. But the problem is, as a consumer, do I value these things separately, right? So they will say, no, you are not the customer. I have a different customer segment, and they value AI dubbing, and they value branded video pages, and they value API access. And to my answer to that is perhaps. and I'm not necessarily finger pointing to them. The problem that I'm explaining is when there are generative AI companies, they tend to start with the product. They tend to start with some sort of good, better, best plan, which is not very correlated for the use of different segments. Because different segments, even if there is like an SMB mid-market enterprise, their core functionality is not like the core functionality of a complex enterprise product. Their core functionality is still the creation of the number of video and the usage. So the problem is that the price is increasing on a per unit basis as I go to the creator plan. And I'm not sure what happens to enterprise, but that feels for people who want the creator plan as unfair. Additionally, Synthesia does not have any overage fees. You can read the FAQs. What happens if I go over my plan's monthly limit? If you exceed your limit, your usage will be capped until renewal. To get more minutes right away, you can upgrade your plan. So if I want just a little bit more usage, I have to get the next plan, which is $64 per month. That is a clear problem, right? If I could spend $25 and you're now making me spend $64 a month, that is no bueno. I'm just going to stop using the service. And there are many products like Synthesia out in the market today. They really need to fix this on their pricing page. This is a standard 3-part tariff model. 3-part tariff should allow for more usage, and the next plan should ideally not be more expensive than the prior plan, given that the main differentiating factor is the usage. Now, further work can be done to understand the unique needs of starter, creator, and enterprise segments, whether they are real segments, and what feature capabilities they need beyond just the generative product. So the challenge generative companies face is how do we add in more functionality that is beyond just the products that have been generated through AI. It could be a video editing stack. It could be partnering with other vendors. So you're offering the generative capability, but somebody has a capability and a hard software offering that somebody will say, okay, you're giving me this, for example, Adobe video editing software, and you're giving me a certain amount of credits to generate video. That is much better than me buying you alone, and that is much better than me buying that other software alone. Or Synthesia could decide that we're going to create the software on our own. But it is understandable that companies with a generative AI product have this issue. But if they do have this issue, I would still advise them to provide the volume incentive for the users to move to the top plan and provide the overage fee so that there is not such a big gap, because it is not in Synthesia's interest for you to cap out your $18 per month plan, wait or then go to the next plan. That doesn't make any sense. It's a poor user experience, and it's a lose for both the consumer and Synthesia. So this is an example of where packaging gets mixed in with the pricing metric tariff structure. Ideally, you want to keep them independent, but there are products like generative AI products where it does need to get mixed sometimes, because there is not much other hard enterprise capability that will offer more feature functionality to, say, your enterprise tiers and your SMB tiers, because essentially at the core of your business, you have a generative AI product. Many companies like 11 Labs solve this much more better. There is less of a jump from plan to plan, and they do offer overage fees, and they do let you scale. Now, I think with just a few tweaks, Synthesia can also solve this problem, but this video is more from a pricing education standpoint, so I hope this helps.